In this video, I'm going to show you how to make something like this, a 3D printed stencil. Let's go. Okay, so there's many reasons why you might want to use a stencil, whether this be so that you can very easily recreate something with a professional look, make multiple copies of an art piece, or anything in between. For me, I want to make a stencil so that I can put my logo on boxes that I ship out with 3D prints in. The traditional method for creating a stencil is to hand cut the design out of card. This is not only painstakingly slow, but requires a lot of control and skill. Whereas with 3D printing, all we have to do is get the image, turn it into a 3D printable file, leave it, come back, and we're done. So let's start with step one, which is making the 3D printable stencil. I'm going to show you how to do this in a very simple free online software called Tinkercad. Let's go.
Okay, so you're going to need your logo, whatever that may be. Ideally you'll want it in a sort of two colour format like this one is here. So that's what we're starting with. So if you open up your web browser, whichever one is your browser of choice, and search for Make Vector. If you have made your logo in something like Illustrator, then you can skip this step, but if your logo is only in PNG or JPEG or something like that, then you're going to need to turn it into a vector. I like to use this one here, vectorizer.io. So at the moment it's free. Drop in your file. Wait for it to load up. Okay, so mine's gone straight to it and worked fine with the two different colours, but if for some reason extra colours are present in your image, you're going to want to select the colour groups here and make sure that there's only the two colours coming out on the other side. But at this point, that's all fine, so I can literally just click download SVG. There it is there. Okay, now the next thing that we want to do is go to Tinkercad, because we're going to turn this newly created vector into an STL file so we can 3D print it. Sign in. Cool. Create new design. You can ignore all my loads of random rubbish. Okay. Import. Choose a file. From the downloads, this one here. SVG. Okay, so because my image was pretty large, I'm going to have to scale it down to make sure that it fits inside the Tinkercad workspace. By the looks of it, it automatically is making the dimensions correct. So that's all good. So we're going to import that. Importing the file. Right, so now that that's come in, you can see it's pretty large, but we can scale that down in a second. It's also the wrong way round because we need that to be a hole, as that's where the spray paint's going to go. So if we just start by putting a box around that, we can then make that about the right height, say 5mm, which should be about the right thickness for the stencil. You can do the same to the logo, make that about 5mm as well, although it doesn't really matter as it's going to be a hole anyway, and cut out from that rectangle. So if we group these together, then we end up with something that looks about right. So at this point, you can scale down your parts. I'm thinking I want the logo to be something 10 to 15 centimeters, so I'll go for about 100, 130, 40, something like that. But what you will notice is that the middles of the letters like O and R, and also the leaf inside my 3D, they're actually going to just drop out as soon as you print that. Okay, so to ensure that all the pieces don't drop out, I'm just going to use a few boxes, putting one in the centre of the letter that would otherwise fall out, one at the edge of the stencil, and then using a third to bridge the two, stretching it across and making it about 1 millimetre thick. I can then repeat this process for all the different letters, insides of the letters that would otherwise drop out, 3 O's, the 2 R's, and also eventually the leaf. It's necessary to make sure that you don't make the boxes any bigger than the piece that will fall out, otherwise you'll get little jagged lines appearing in your stencil, which won't look good. At each stage I'm doing this, I'm ensuring that I group all the parts together to ensure that when I export it as STL, it will all come out fine. For the bridge over the leaf, I'm just stretching it slightly and turning it horizontal so that it works just as well. I can then rename it to something that isn't one of the odd Tinkercad names, so let's call it 3D Tomorrow Stencil. Select it all again, click group, and let's give it a quick move around to make sure it's all grouped. Yeah, perfect. Now we can do that again, export, STL, and we are ready to move into the slicer. Right, so we're going to want to import our file. There it is. Watch it drop really slowly. No idea why that's lagging so much. And then check that all looks okay, which it does. I've already got my setting prepared, so straight prepare to print. Make sure all the layers are looking good, which they are. Looks like that's going to come out nicely.
Okay, so now we have got the stencil all printed and just need to take it off the bed. So I shall do this now. Probably should have waited for it to cool a little bit more than I have done. There we go. Okay, so I've now got the stencil off the bed. It actually ran out of filament slightly before finishing printing, but I used my 3D printing pen and just drew in the little bridges to hold the letters in. Now what I'm going to do is make a flange around the outside of the stencil. This just stops the spray paint from going outside the edge and leaving a horrible box, which doesn't look great. I'm going to do this out of card, but you could use paper, I suppose. It just needs to be thinner than the actual stencil itself, otherwise it might lift the stencil up and not allow it to sit flat on the surface, so you don't get the nice sharp edges that you want when you're spray painting. So thin is best in this instance. I'm going to use some masking tape around it, just to make sure there's no gaps. Right, there we go. As you can see, we've now got a much larger area. You could have just printed this, but doing it this way allows people who have got smaller build areas to also do the same. And this should allow us to, contain our spray paint to this larger area now without making a horrible mess. So outside now, ready to do the spray painting part of this process. And in the past, I've found that it can be quite hard to work out the centre of where the stencil is, so I'm just going to draw on some lines, like so. Right, here we go. Actually turns out I don't have any black spray paint, so I'm going to have to do this in silver, and then I will add some photos later of how it looks in black as well. And there you can see 3D Tomorrow. Doesn't look that great in silver, to be honest. I think it looks a lot better in black, but you get the idea. And that's, pretty cool. That's quite cool. As you can see, I've actually not made the flange quite big enough. You're getting that horrible rectangle I was on about. So I'll spray another one a bit closer. And that's looking pretty cool. Not too bad, not too bad. As you can see though, this starts to get quite caked up with paint. So it's definitely going to need a bit of a dab if you were to do quite a lot of these. Okay, so that is an example as you've seen outside. And you know, there's plenty of different things that you could use it for. Someone a lot more artsy than I am might be able to use this as a base for a photo and then, you know, add some detailing around it, for example. So yeah, you get the idea how you could use it to do some sort of a random stencil thing. So yeah, that just about wraps this one up. I've shown you how to make a stencil using 3D printing. Personally for me, I think this sort of technique will work best where you don't have to make too many copies, because as I showed earlier, it does get quite layered up with paint, and that is not great, but you know, the initial accuracy is quite good. Yeah, so if any of you guys have some cool ideas for what you could do with this technique and you get up to some nice projects, I would absolutely love to see, so please drop a message in the comments and tell me about them. If you did enjoy the video, then by all means like and subscribe and share to anyone else you think might be interested. That would be much appreciated. See you next time.